I'd like to bring it back to the work and, you know, yeah, there's a couple of things I want to, first of all, I'd like to address what a lot of us have, tried or find our way with in that Milton so wholeheartedly believed his approach did everything. He didn't understand why anybody needed to go study anything else because for him it really did. And I because I had this personal knowing with him, I understood why he felt that way. But what he wasn't taking into accord was that he was a trained medical doctor, that he had studied Chinese medicine inside and out, living in Hawaii. He had done this psychological internship, so he, had his, basis of psychology besides being with people all his life. And he'd been a physical therapist for many years. So there was knowledge base and skill set that he were tools in his tool belt. I honestly believe that what he did just it was a pure download into him that just came through him. But when needed, he had this toolkit. And he didn't understand that, those of us showing up, yeah, I taught hatha yoga, so anyway, I understood his side of it. And I also honored my own. And I remember, and again, I'm just so grateful being in the Bay Area where there was so much innovation that was available. And one of the things that became available was studying with this Rolf student of Ida Rolf's cranial sacral work. He was teaching cranial sacral work, but he'd been a long time Rolfer. And when I went to lunch with him on the first day of the class, and we were talking about our teachers, Trager and Ida Rolf, who believed their method was the method. And he said, that he had a talk with Ida, and because he was so drawn to the cranial sacral work. And what Ida Rolf said to him is, you do one modality for 5 years, nothing else. You stay and you incorporate that modality. And then after 5 years, if you want to study something else, you go and study it so that you become even better at that modality that you've studied for 5 years. And that's the approach that I just thought that made so much sense, right? So I jokingly say I have a PhD in all of the other trainings I have taken over the years that I'm so grateful for. And they're wonderful tools in my toolkit. And I'm so grateful that I have understandings of how people learn so I can communicate and just many different things. But I call myself a Trager practitioner. I mean, I have a number of certifications, but I don't list them because that for me, it's always been about integrating it and having it available. But I'm always starting at this foundation of the Trager principles because they are so effective.
I think that when one allows oneself to take all that you learned and be willing to learn, go look for things that interest you and attract you, and then integrate them, and, within yourself, that's honoring, all of them. And if there's one modality that particularly speaks to you, that feels most comfortable, that the others can work within. I mean, that's honoring Traeger, you know, that's honoring Milton, because you are following your own path, you're following your own ease, you're you know, basically the Traeger principles are coming into expression in your own work. You know, you can't be Traeger. You can't be anyone but yourself. I can't be.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think you know, that wanting to and being aware that you have this ability to um, be your best.
Yeah.
That's part of it. So.
Be our best with the support of the vast ocean of pleasantness at our back.